It's the best exposure to distribution operations.
You make new friends.
The best way to develop yourself as a professional.
It's the best way to spend your second half of the summer.
To prepare for a career in industrial distribution.
It's the best thing for your resume.
Why did I go? The main reason I went was because of the way that businesses are working today. They're always thinking globally, and that's just going to be very important to them in the future. And this is just one way I can start my global network, is by taking the initiative to sign up for a trip where I get to go and study business in another country. Being able to go to Mexico and see how the business works and do the research with the professors just gives me such a great opportunity to show the companies out there that I truly am interested in thinking globally and about globalization.
Why did I decide to go? It was pretty cheap, and it was only 5 weeks. It was honestly the easiest 6 hours I've ever gotten at Texas A&M.
Whenever I heard about the trip, I thought it would be a great opportunity, and it was only 5 weeks of the summer, and I already had an internship for the first 5 weeks. So really, they really played off each other well, and it was the perfect opportunity to actually work in a business, and then for the next half of the summer, actually go out and experience like international cultures and international business.
Well, the program was set up to be 5 weeks. The first week we were in the class, then the next 3 weeks we were traveling. After those 3 weeks of traveling, we had our final week of class time / getting our presentation ready to present to the company that sponsored the trip. The days were never the exact same thing. We got to meet with a lot of different people. We got to ask them a lot of different questions. And during that whole aspect, we got to learn a lot of information.
These credit hours were so much fun. They weren't textbook learning, which most other classes are. You had to participate, you had to ask questions at the meetings. We gave a presentation at the end, and that was the hardest part about the class, to be honest with you. Other than that, I had a blast. They were easy credits, and I would highly recommend this program to everybody.
My favorite thing about the Global Distribution Abroad trip was that I got to combine real-world experience with my education. I really got to learn a lot about intermodal facilities, about things that really apply to our major, with our professors really tailoring the experience to a student's education and undergraduate perspective.
One thing that really sticks out in my mind from the trip, we did a lot of conference calls with different companies while in Mexico, and we were running a little late for one of them, so we actually had to have the conference call on the bus. And so we had someone's iPhone that we hooked up to speakers, and we had the conference call while we were driving into Mexico on the bus. So that was a lot of fun.
Probably a distinct memory that stands out is we got to go to the Houston shipyard, and we saw this giant freighter ship and these huge cranes working to get all these boxcars off the ship, and realizing that pretty much every product that is in the United States has gone through that whole process.
One night, the company that sponsored us took us to Dave & Buster's for just an evening of games and food, and we had a really great time. I mean, we did a lot of hard work, but we also had a lot of fun together.
You may not know if this is the right trip for you. It really is an amazing trip for industrial distribution students. And it really helped me understand what my major is about when it comes to the real world, something a lot of people don't get to experience until they graduate and find a real job.
If you're deciding on whether or not you want to go to Mexico, go ahead and apply, because it was a great experience, and I really enjoyed my summer because of it. I had not taken any upper level classes, and I didn't know any of the professors. And on this trip, I met Dr. Lawrence, I met Dr. Japar, Dr. Milani, everybody pretty much.
If you're on the border of deciding whether you want to go or if you don't want to go, I would highly suggest giving this program a shot. I have learned so much. I gained so much knowledge from the industries that we visited, and I've been able to bring that to interviews that I've had for internships, and I'll be able to bring it to interviews that I have for full-time jobs, just that confidence of knowing what I'm talking about, and you really can't put a price on the knowledge that you'll gain on this trip.
It's the best experience I got all summer, hands down.